Hello, welcome to 4,000 and Counting. I'm Watty. This is Mark. We're back for another episode. Today we are going to look at something we've been talking about with some guests of late. That is the Challenge Cup and playoff debate. Now, obviously, there was lots of people upset with the way the Challenge Cup final went, the way it gets hosted, the way the top seed goes in to host in the final. I mean, I think people are upset about quite a lot of things, but as that's been the most recent. And the other side of it is the playoffs. You have this mad battle to get to the playoffs, and you have one round at the quarterfinal stage and then onto a final four weekend. Now, my take is, and this is something I would like to see happen, Mark can give his different opinions or whatever, but I would like to see the Challenge Cup format changed. So it's done earlier in the season and it finishes no later than Christmas. And you either do it one of two ways. You most certainly dedicate a weekend to the final, not a Wednesday night game. It definitely needs to be on a weekend. But the way I see it, it should be a final four weekend of the Challenge Cup. Now you go through your groups, and that's where you have essentially your Nottingham, i.e. your playoffs. And then at the end of the season, you then switch to playoff series. Now, if that has to be 3 games, then it's 3 games. If it could be 5, if they could figure out logistics, then I think that would be excellent. And obviously travel's an issue. We've talked about that before, but the higher seed would travel away for the first game and then play the second 2 games at home if needed. If they only need 1, etc., or in the other series 3, you know what I mean, and so on. But I think it could be good for UK hockey. I think it'd be good for UK hockey as a whole. The Elite League wouldn't lose any money in terms of having a Final Four weekend. It would just be a Challenge Cup. It would be before Christmas. So instead of doing it like after Christmas, where guys have now got GB and international tournaments and stuff, it could be done before then, even if it means starting the season a week earlier to fit the weekend in. It's only 1 week earlier. It's not an issue. And I think that way you could end up with a really fantastic Challenge Cup competition. You're going to get everybody in one place again, like you do the playoffs, but it allows you to have a proper professional ice hockey playoff series. Mark?
Actually, with the cup, I'm completely with you on that. I think that's a great idea. Great input. I like that. Playoffs, we're a professional league. We need to be a proper playoff series. No excuses. We need a proper playoff series. The players want it as well.
Yeah, of course they do.
The fans will love it to have a proper playoff series. Here, I'm lucky enough in Austria and with Slovakia next door to experience playoff hockey.
And Czech next door.
All
those leagues are all series, right?
Yeah, and every game after from the first game just throughout the series, it gets so intense. Rivalries are built, players hate each other, fans become more passionate on both sides. You start to hate the team more that you never thought you would hate before in hockey sense. It's just, it works for the players. The energy is incredible, and I think any player would tell you it's the best hockey to play, to be a part of.
And that's a big part of the argument as well. But the two-sided argument would be the Challenge Cup being done before Christmas would be a massive plus.
Yeah.
It's done. It's out the way. And the fact that if that was then to be a weekend, it's great for press. It's great for media. It's great for the fans if it's done at the right rink. Everybody, you know what? If they put it at Nottingham, I don't think anyone would complain. I can't remember who we spoke to on the podcast last week, and that was their kind of thinking. It was one of the boys. That was their thinking that Nottingham would be a good place to host it if it went down that route. Maybe it was Barry, maybe it was Kev. I can't remember. It was one of those lads. Or my other take with the Challenge Cup would be if it's not a final, i.e. like final four weekend, then it at least needs to be like head to head, like 2 games.
Yeah.
Saturday, Sunday. I think having that extra game again, if you get both those games on via play, it's just an extra, and it's just extra coverage, it's extra footage, it's more content. I know we're kind of the first ones doing this on YouTube now, and we're going to get out to events and we're going to be doing that. But I wouldn't be surprised to see some more people come off the back of us in the future doing bits and pieces on YouTube. And weekends like that were ultimately a massive success. You look at when Chicklets go and they go to like the NHL All-Star break, or they go to the outdoor games or something, and it's an event and there's content and it's just flying around the internet, and that's good for the brand. And ultimately, I think that'd be good for the Elite League brand. And then having proper playoff series, like you say, the rivalries that you build up, especially if they go 5-game series and they
Exactly.
Game 1 goes to double OT, game 2 goes to OT the other way, and then game 3, one team blows another team out, and then you think, oh, they're going to win game 4, and then they lose game 4, and then it's back to that game 5 decider. Come the fuck on. It writes itself. And don't get me wrong, you're going to have a series where Belfast play 5 and win 3 games. So what? Happens in the NHL. But what you are going to have is those 5-game series, those long playoff battles. Now, ice time is going to be logistical. What do you make of that? Because obviously that's what they're going to throw out. They're going to say, oh, but ice time. And one of the best things I saw from a fan was they can turn that arena into a concert hall in about fucking 6 hours. Or vice versa. It's done by, they have a boxing event on, and I'm pretty sure, I can't remember, was it Chris Carpenter? Maybe he's working in NIT in Birmingham. They have a boxing event on. 3 hours after that, fucking ring gone, everything's gone, it's back to how it should be. So the staff at these venues can get it done. Now, I guess the main problem will be, let's say, I don't know. Let's use this for example. So Sheffield Steelers, they play Dundee Stars in the playoffs. And game 1 is in Dundee on a Thursday night. And then game 2 is in Sheffield on Saturday night. Game 3 is in Sheffield on Sunday night. Now Sheffield go down, smoke Dundee and Dundee. And then win at home. So they've won the series. They now have Sheffield Arena lying empty on a Sunday afternoon. That's a problem, because obviously they don't get the gate. But needs must. There's got to be a way. There's got to be a way of working it out with the arenas. These people that run these arenas, they're smart. You can talk to like other arenas in North America, and realistically, you might have some every now and again. You might have a pop concert on a Sunday night, but it's not really like I personally wouldn't go to a gig on a Sunday night. If I've got to be up for work at 5:30 on Monday, do you know what I mean? If I've got to be up for work at 5:30 in the morning on Monday, I ain't going to a gig on a Sunday. Unless it starts at like midday, I can get crippled and be in bed by like 8. So I'll be up for that. But you know what I mean? That would be the logistical side of it. A rink like Cardiff, sorry, you might have to bump the juniors from a couple of Sunday games. Sorry. It is what it is. I'm sure at some stage.
The revenue they'd make as well, though. I know it sucks that someone has to lose out. But if you want proper ice hockey, proper ice series, I know then you touch on junior development. That's a long one.
But by that stage of the season, Mark, by that stage of the season, mid-April, the juniors have like 2 or 3 games left.
So there should be better organising around the scheduling to allow
that you'd be able to figure it out. It's not like they're going to have like 20 games left. The kids play 20 games. It starts in September. By the time April rolls around, the season's done by May. So there's really not that many games that they could possibly have left. If you, like you say, you can pre-plan ahead of time.
Clubs will create the revenue, because playoff hockey, I mean, here every game is pretty much sold out come playoff time.
And
it's so hard to get tickets.
If you could do a series like that, and we use that scenario. So let's say Viaplay are in Dundee on that Thursday, and then I don't know, the Devils play the Storm on Friday, and then they're there for that, and then the Steel get a proper TV package. I get that the clubs have to make their revenue. They charge far too much for their streams, which is probably dwindling the numbers. What I would really like to see, and it's a video for a different day, but is some sort of all-in package. I can just turn my TV on tonight, and I'm watching Stars v Flyers And I was like, nah, game's a bit shit. I'm going to turn over. I've now got Coventry v Manchester. Bang. Okay, cool. I have that option. Whether you have to pay more of a premium, even if it's 50 quid a month, 60 quid, even if it's 60 quid a month. If you're paying 15 quid a weekend, but can get access to 10 games a weekend, how many people? Well, I reckon we should say that for a different video.
Yeah.
Because that's an interesting point. Like, let's go back to the subject at hand. What other points do you have at?
It's just the ice time we can sort out. Travel's not going to be an issue. Right now, I'm in the middle of the playoff series in Vienna with Innsbruck. Innsbruck's over 5 hours away. They're doing a game at home, a game away, game at home. It's the
They're alternating.
Yeah. I'll go to the game tomorrow night, so I'll give you some info on that and some
nice
and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, it works. And honestly, the fans would it's just you get a lot of people. You go to an average game in Vienna, you've got maybe 4,000, 4,500, 5,000. Come playoffs, it's full every game.
Just really rammed.
Tickets. There's a waiting list, stuff like that. And you go to Czechia. There's waiting lists at most clubs there. Playoff time, it's just incredible. Just the buzz. Playoff hockey is just the one.
I think they'll generate more revenue across the league as a whole if they were to do that. I think some clubs may fear, because I think all the clubs get a small cut of the Elite League finals money. But I imagine the Elite League then take a fucking fair chunk of it themselves, right? So maybe a couple of the teams miss out on some dough. But that should be more incentive to spend your dough properly in the first place, make the playoffs, recruit a roster that's going to be good enough to go in and get to these weekends and get to the finals and get to the series. I would love to see it. I think the way that the game would grow would be so fast.
Yeah.
So fast. I think the game grows. If they get some wood on the ball early and they plan it properly. I don't know. Guys, girls, you tell us what you like. Would you like to see a Challenge Cup final weekend like that? Would you like to see it head to head? Would you like to see 3-game series in the playoffs? Would you like to see 5? Would you like to see it left as it is? I mean, there is
the Nottingham weekend's great, isn't it?
I was just going to say, there's always that thing of if it ain't
it's unique.
but if it ain't broke, don't fix it, right?
Yeah.
But it doesn't.
Entertainment value and for the whole course of playoffs, the series cannot be beaten. As good as the playoff weekend is, everyone in the same barn is sort of great. But really, when you watch if we experience the playoff hockey, I'd love to see what the fans honestly say. Or there's fans listening to this right now that have had the chance to experience a playoff series in another country. Let us know your thoughts on that.
Yeah. For example, there's a reason that you can get a ticket for like $100 in the regular season to go to an NHL game, and then that same seat will cost you $450 in the playoffs. It's a different product in the playoffs. Yeah. It is like same. Doesn't matter where you're playing. Even though guys will work their balls off every single game, every single night. I can't explain it to you when you play. It's the playoffs do something to you, gives you something. Because you got to remember, by that stage, your body's fucked. It's the end of the season, so you're screwed. Like, your shoulders hanging, on, and your tendons and your knees are sore. Like me, if you're a fighter, your hands are sore because you probably already fought 8, 10, 12 times that year, so your hands are beaten up. Yeah,
I think
but all of a sudden you just stop hurting. It's like, let's go. You just, I don't know. It's weird. You play for
last season, right? They had so many injuries come playoff time as well, and just going through it, they were chucking. There was like a 15-year-old, I think it was, in net one game. It was just crazy, absolutely crazy. And you hear like the old playoff stories, like Patrice Bergeron. When he had his like punctured lung, broken ribs.
Yeah, joke.
It just continues what a buzz.
All those guys taking Toradol shots to get through the games in the playoffs, and it's insane what they put their bodies through. But yeah, I think some changes would be interesting. Again, it is very, very good weekend. It is a great weekend. I'm really looking forward to it this year. It's going to be fun. It's going to be fun being there to kind of cover more stuff and be bringing more content. But I'm also equally looking forward to the hockey because the Elite League product's been good this year, and I think there's going to be a good wrap up to a great season for the Elite League.
Yeah, it's been very entertaining the way the fixtures are planned out and everything. It's just been fun. Yeah, I'm looking forward to next week when we bring up another roundup because that's always been fun.
It's
You
going
know,
to
seeing
all change
things
again.
work out. Yeah.
Right, guys, this has been a fun one. Let us know what you think. Make sure you subscribe, like, comment, do all the other usual stuff that helps us out. But for now, peace.
Peace.